What is going on, everyone? I'm Tristan Tanner, part of Team Latitude 64, and this is my 2020 in the bag. First off, we'll get to my putters. My main putting putters are the BT Hard Shields. I carry 3 of them in the bag right now. I only putt 2 at a time, so I'll always have one in my hand that I'm putting and then one in my offhand. Just that's how I practice, that's how I'm comfortable. I like to keep 3 of them. The extra one is just for warming up, and then if my putt's kind of feeling off, I'll just kind of interchange them so that it just freshens it up a little bit. For longer putts, I use a Zero Hard Pure. These are really straight. This one's pretty beat up. I use it for my spin putts, ante putts, a lot of jump putts. I will jump putt and spin putt with these, but in different situations. So this is just my straighter, more understable putter, and then these are slightly overstable. For throwing, I'll go my understable ones first. I throw the Latitude 64 Bite. I just got this one from Josh Burquest. He's from Colorado Springs, good buddy of mine. I saw him with this at Vegas, and I just had to have it. Just this beautiful blue sparkle bite. Absolutely love this. Thank you. Then I have Opto Pure. This is just a double stamp one that I got at GBO last year. This is my mango. I know Eric Oakley and AJ Risley love their mango enforcers, but this is my Mango Pure. Absolutely love this thing. Dead straight. I can make it Anheuser, make it Heiser. This is one of my go-to discs. I love the Pure. Next up, my overstable ones. I bag 3 Harps at the moment. My most understable is this Zero or BT Hard one. I've been using this for probably about 2 years now, coming up on it. It's super beat up. I only use it for forehands. It's got a nice, I can throw it on a hyzer, it'll flip up, go really straight, and then fade off like the Harp always does. I can really shape shots in the woods with this. It doesn't come out very much in the open, but in the woods I'll be throwing this on every single approach. Next, another BT Hard. This is one with my stamp on it. This is my overstable forehand approach. I only throw these hard ones forehand. I hardly ever throw them backhand. But this is overstable. I can throw it on a slight hyzer. It's not going to flip up at all, and it's just going to dump to the right. Absolutely love the Harp. And then I have one VIP Harp. This is new to the bag this year, and this is my backhand approach. So I'll use the Pure and this metallic Harp for my backhand approaches, and then those 2 for my forehand approaches. But this is just really overstable. I think these metallic Harps are the most overstable Harp, in my opinion. I haven't thrown any of the other premium plastic ones very much, but this one is super overstable. I can throw it on flex lines, hyzers, skip shots, and it's just super consistent. Next, onto my mid-ranges. I'll start with the most understable. This yellow, I guess it's a special edition Gatekeeper. I've had this one in the bag for probably about 8 months now. It got it nice and beat up. It was just dead straight out of the box, but now I can throw it on a nice hyzer flip, and then it'll hold just barely over to the right on my backhands. I also throw this for forehands in the woods sometimes for flip up shots that I need to just flip up and go dead straight. But the Gatekeeper is amazing. And then I also have a VIP Proto one. This has been in the bag since literally since the first day I got it, like a little over a year ago now. But this is just point and shoot, does whatever I need. You saw me throw it on hole 1, the 3rd round of Vegas. I love these. I trust them out to 400 feet, and I throw them on ante, throw it on hyzer, throw it on straight shots. Absolutely love this disc. Next, new to the bag also for 2020 is a Lucidex Verdict. The Verdict before wasn't quite as overstable as I wanted it to be, but these Lucidex ones are very overstable, but still the slightly faster mid-range and a ton of glide that the Verdict always has. I throw this forehand and backhand for long hyzers or like slight flexes. Feels great for the forehand grip, which I love, so I can throw it both ways. Next up, I have two Justices in the bag. First off, this, I think it's a Biofusion. I've had it for over 2 years now. It's just amazing. It's beat up. I can throw it hard and flat, and it'll hold straight for a long time and then fade to the left. Super consistent. I can still throw it on flex shots. It's still adjusted. It has that fade, but just a little more glide and a little straighter. And then I'd have just a brand new loose Justice. For some reason, these orange ones came out even flatter than most Justice, and I can really trust these on flex lines. They're really overstable, and just love these in the wind. Next on to my fairway drivers. I bag two Explorers. These are my straight fairway driver. I have this, it's just a dyed one that I got from Grant Payne at the Veterans Park Open last year. It's a hybrid from GBO in 2018, and this is my most understable fairway driver that I throw in the air. So I can throw this on just a slight hyzer. It'll pop up, go straight for a little, and then just barely drift off to the right. But it's still super controllable. I do throw it on rollers sometimes. I can throw it on hyzer lines, throw it on anhyzer lines. Next, I have just a stock Opto Explorer with my stamp on it. This is just my dead straight fairway driver. I can rip on this on just a slight hyzer. It'll flip up and go straight, and I'll throw my Explorers out to probably about 415, depending on the shot shape. But super consistent, super straight, not a whole lot of fade on them, and I will throw them forehand and backhand. Next up, my Pioneers. I have 3 of them in the bag. First off is this Proto Pioneer that I've had in the bag since last year when I got the Pioneer. It's amazing. Just a flip up, slight flip up. I mostly throw it forehand, don't really throw it backhand very often, but it flips up just slightly, and I throw this for if there's a hole that's between 350 and 380 on a forehand straight to hyzer shot, I'm probably going to be throwing this disc. It's just absolutely money for that distance. I don't have to take quite a full swing, but I can throw it about 85% on a forehand, and it's just going to do that job every single time. Next up in stability is this Special Edition Pioneer. This is just my middle of the pack. Still overstable. The Pioneers are always overstable, but this one holds straight for a little bit and then just has that consistent dump at the end, and I will throw this one backhand and forehand. Next up is just a stock Opto Pioneer. This is my most overstable one. I'll throw it for spike hyzers, flex forehands, just overstable hyzer forehands, and just it's a consistent workhorse in my game. Love this disc. Next, we'll go into some utility fairway drivers that I have. I have a Prime Witness. You've seen this in my bag before. It's super understable. I'll throw it in the woods for like crazy turnover rollers that have to cut really quick to the right. I'll throw it for Skamahawks. I throw it on a grenade that flips up and it flies, that you've probably seen in my other in the bag. I haven't got to throw it on camera yet, but hopefully it will. I'll need to throw it at some point because it's a really cool shot. I've introduced it to quite a few people recently, and I think it's a shot that's going to become more popular in the game. Next, my main roller disc. New to the bag this year, I picked this up from Spinners on the Green here in Arizona. It's Opto Vision. These are amazing. They have a perfect profile for rolling. They're perfectly even on the bottom and the top of the disc, so it's not going to vary going either direction. I can just lay it down on some cut. It's going to roll really straight and then just barely tail off to the right at the end, but I can make this do anything. I can make it quick flip and go over to the right, or I can make it hold a cut roller all the way. I will throw this in the air very rarely, probably more in the woods when it comes up for some flip-up forehands or some late turning backhands. But I'm really excited to have this in my bag. I've been wanting to try one of these for a long time, and it's absolutely amazing. If you can get your hands on a Vision, definitely do it. Next up, a lot of people consider these fairway drivers, but I don't personally, and that is the Getaway. I consider them a hybrid driver because I can throw them quite a bit further than my fairway drivers. I'll throw these out to probably about 460, and then my fairway drivers I'm only going about 415 to 420. So a little faster, a little more glide than my Explorer and Pioneer, but this one is my straighter of the two, but it's not straight at all. It's still very overstable. I can rip on it flat, it'll go straight for a long ways, and then it'll have a hard dump to the left. I really like these super pop top lucid ones. They're just money. Next up, I have a Lucid X Getaway. This one actually has some sparkles in it, and it's funny because I keep thinking it's wet that I have to wipe it off because it has a little bit of sparkle to it. But these are a little bit more low glide than other Getaways, but they still go far. They're still overstable. I will throw this on a forehand sometimes because it's a similar stability to my Pioneers, but I can get a little bit more distance out of it. But mostly backhand hyzers, skip shots, little flexes that is in that kind of awkward 440 to 470 range. Next up, we'll move on to my distance drivers, but these are just two utility distance drivers more than anything. I have a Lucid X Enforcer. This one's I've had in the bag for a little while, so it's like slightly beat up, but not too bad. Still very overstable. I can throw it on flex lines. I'll break this out when it gets really windy and I need to throw something flat and still have it hyzer. But I tend to favor a hyzer release, and so when I'm throwing in the open, it's mostly just if I need like a super spike hyzer or if it gets a little bit windy. And then next, something that I'm super excited to have in the bag for 2020 is the Opto X Stiletto. These are so overstable. I have had this in the bag since they came out. It's great for overhands. It's actually taught me a tomahawk. I've never had a tomahawk in my game before this, but now I can throw this on a tomahawk out to like 380, which is a great utility shot to have. This is great for grenades, great for little flex forehands, flex backhands. It's just so overstable. It skips every single time when I throw it on flex lines, and then I can also get it to just land straight up and down and stick right in the ground. It's a 100% a utility disc. I don't use it every round, but when I need something like this in the bag, it is absolutely amazing to have it. Next up are my main distance driver, which is the Ballista Pro. If you watched the Vegas coverage at all, you know that I absolutely love this disc. I throw the forehand and backhand, and they're just absolutely amazing. I'll start off with, I have two Opto ones. This first one is a blue double stamp of my tour fundraiser last year, and it's just a slightly domey Opto. It's got a slight pop to it. Feels absolutely amazing for a forehand. I can throw it on just a slight hyzer. It'll pop up, go straight for a long time, and then just fade to the right. I can get it to hold hyzers. I can turn it over, get it to flex, but this is just my absolute bomber forehand disc. I'll throw this on a forehand out to 480 if I need it. It's absolutely amazing. Next, I have a first run Opto that I've had in the bag for probably about a month now. It's my more overstable forehand disc. I can throw it flat and it's just going to go straight and then fade to the right. But this one also, I can shape it, throw it on hyzers. I can turn it over a little bit and trust it. I'll trust this one a little bit more in the wind than that other blue one, just because of the little bit more overstability. Then I have 4 gold lines in the bag right now. The most understable is just this stock gold burst one. I only throw the pop top If it doesn't have a pop top, it's probably not going to be in my bag if it's a gold line. I love the dome. It makes them overstable enough for me to throw it, so I can trust them more. The other ones just get a little squirrely for me at my power range, but I will throw these forehand for a little bit even more overstable than that first run optos, but mostly these are backhands. On this one, if I throw it backhand, I can throw it on a slight hyzer, it'll pop up flat, maybe drift a touch to the right, and then it, for the most part, fades to the left every single time. But I can shape it, I can throw it on big flex shots, big hyzers. This one is definitely one of my big bomber discs for a backhand. Next up, I have a pretty much brand new, just gold burst pop top again. This is just a nice middle of the pack one. If I throw it flat, it turns over a little bit to the right and then it fades to the left. I can trust this on a lot of hyzer lines, but I can also get it to turn over if I need to. Next, I have another disc with my FUNDRAISER stamp from last year. This is a really pop top. You probably can't see it that great, but I'll give you a close-up. It's super pop toppy, very overstable. I trust this on a lot of hyzer lines. I can flex it over a little bit, but I just love this. It's consistent. It's going to go left every time. I can throw this one in wind, and I absolutely love it. Next, this is a double stamp, white gold line that I got at GBO last year. Just a slight pop to it, but for whatever reason, this run, the Domi double stamp ones from GBO, just came out the most overstable Ballista Pro that I've thrown. They're really stiff rim, really nice feeling in the hand. I can throw it on forehand and backhand, and I know it's going to go left every time. I can just trust it on flex lines, on spike hyzers, flex forehands. Super consistent disc. Absolutely love it. That is all for what's in my bag. I also have a couple extra things. I got these awesome zipper pulls from Trilogy Paracord. You can look them up on Facebook or Instagram. This is an awesome scorekeeper that I use in my casual rounds. It just looks super cool, adds a little extra flair to the bag. Absolutely love it. And I think that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm not sure exactly what my schedule for posting is going to be throughout the tour season, but I have a couple week break here that I'm going to try to pump out some videos for you guys. And just thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.